Hello and welcome everybody, as promised. Here's the Durnil episode. Notice the Dojaya, by the way. Jesus Christ, that I really made them too powerful when I played as them. And Aquitaine, oh no, it's a modern France. They're blobbing into Morocco and Algeria. But other than that, I mean, Poland, you know, looks very ugly. Just like normal. Nothing changed in that regard. But let's just unpause it and witness the beauty unfold. Now, I hope that we will see some changes in, you know, ownership and whatnot, because if you don't do that, I mean, what kind of game is it, right? We're in 990. I don't know if I have the Aztec invasion enabled. Sunset invasion, I think, is the official name. I may have enabled it, but even if I haven't, I think it's perfectly fine. You know, there's nothing to worry about in that regard. Because even if they were to invade, I'm not sure that we would actually see it, you know, even if I had that active. But what I gotta say about this playthrough, and it obviously is very different from other playthroughs I've done, where I play one family and I, you know, kind of try hard it from time to time, where I just look at it and I just decide to, hey, let's do this or let's do that, because it is effective. In this playthrough, no, actually, that's wrong. I mostly roleplay, and then towards the end of the playthrough, I'm like, I just want to do the playthrough goal now, and I just start tryharding. But this playthrough was different. We jumped around. Let's remember, okay? We had some bullshit going on, but we had, let's see. We were over here, formed a small empire over there. I think we were over here at some point. Like, was this a third jump? The second jump? I'm not sure. We were over here. Did this big mistake on my part. We did Aquitaine, we did Cambrai. We never were active here, actually, which is fascinating. We did this one, and all in all, we just, you know, especially the interesting part is, I think, that especially at the start, I didn't feel like I did do too much over here. And while you now may say, yeah, you're right, you didn't do too much over there, and nothing survived, you know, all of that stuff is gone, all the Sunni Muslims are gone, despite you playing them. But for like the first 100 years, I believe, or something like that anyway, there was a really strong force here with, what was the name of our family at the time? I can't remember. The, Taganites? I think it was the Taganites, right? Anyway, they were a pretty strong force that you shouldn't be messing with, and that was very visible in, you know, how they withstood the test of time. Now, they have fallen, of course, but when we left them, they were only like a duchy, while everything around them was counties, and that alone led them to almost form the Arabic Empire. They had, like, roughly this territory over here. They were blobbing into Egypt, and then they just started collapsing. Maybe it was the decadence. I'm not sure exactly what would cause a downfall such as the one that we've seen there, but it did happen. And I mean, come on, that's pretty amazing to see how the world works with just a small impact that you've given the world, you know, at the very start. The Dojaya dynasty, obviously, like, I think I overdid it a bit there. I was just like, I was looking at it all the time. I was like, damn, let me just kill them all. And turns out that may have been a bit much. I think we can actually push you in so that we have a better view here. It's interesting to see, though. It's what is especially interesting to see is that I think in mods like this one, where everything is just shattered and everybody starts out the same way, Muslims are very, very, very much in the weakest position possible, because especially the start date we chose, they start out very small, you know. They don't even have Persia yet. There's still Zoroastrianism everywhere, and since it gives you a ruler from the religion of the province, they were just fucked over here. And we can see that essentially with Zoroastrianism everywhere here, you know. It's just a really strong force. Jainism as well, because of what we did. The Hindus had no chance. Orthodoxy obviously survived. I gave Aquitaine a huge Orthodox boost here, you know. This is the interesting part as well. You still have the Nords over here, I believe. Yeah, he's still Nords. That's so great. And he's still fucking Nordic. Queen Basiliki of Sicily. He took an Orthodox woman, huh? Master Seductor is interesting. But what it comes down to, really what it comes down to, I feel, is, had I not given Orthodoxy the boost here, they may not have even done that. Because Orthodoxy, honestly, you can see it. They've splintered a lot. They've they've not really been good about holding on to what is theirs and what should be theirs. So I don't know, it's kind of nice to see the effect that even the Orthodox thing had. Although I may have made Aquitaine into into a force too strong on the regional level as well. It does kind of irk me that they're now Germanic pagans. Is that what? In what world? Anyway, the Slavs being reformed is nice. It's honestly, oh, they broke away. You must have died. Look at you. You're the new faith. Oh, what about your king? He's also the new faith. Yeah. They must have died, and he now rules over Khazaria and Ruthenia. I think they are going to split further. Oh, what the fuck? Holy shit. I'm okay with this, don't get me wrong. It's just like, holy fuck, what? Yeah, Ruthenia is getting ravaged. And I mean, we were pretty lucky, I would argue, with the Black Death. I knew, so historically speaking, I knew that the Black Death doesn't touch Poland. It didn't do that historically, at least not in great numbers, because Poland was fairly isolated at the time, didn't really trade with anybody before the plague, and when the plague was on its height in Europe, Poland obviously wasn't going to say, oh, well, now is the time to trade. So, there was never really any threat in Poland. I could just hide out there. Had I not been able to do that, we would have probably died, and I would have been unable to reform the faith. But I was just able, hey, take a vacation in Poland, kind of check it out. What are you doing? You are Cathar, right? Cathar is the good religion now, over here. I don't think Karak... Is Karak the... Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Holy shit, how did my family manage to lose the goddamn titles? Get out of here. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you rule like half the country. Oh, goodness. Make 22 bucks. He makes like, what, 3? How much money do you make? Oh, also 20. Oh, everybody's rich. Okay. Grand Mayor Congar of Wessex de Porhoët. I don't know. I don't think I overdid it with Canberra. You can even see right now. No, let's actually not pause the game. Jesus, we're only like 7 years in 7 minutes. That's 1 year per minute. That's not that many years, let me tell you. But I think I didn't make Canberra... Oh, I hate the units. I didn't make Canberra too strong. I don't think I did, because look at them. They're getting sieged down. Oh, Mumu, they've converted. Oh, the Liberator. Amazing. I don't think I made them too strong. If this was still a player country, had I continued as Canberra, we would have been all over the continent at this point, because conquering everything would have been just so easy. Had I played this as a player, and, wanted to become really overpowered, I never would have let England become independent. I would have subdued them whenever I could, and I think Canberra is actually doing that still to this point. Look, they've gained some territory from and in England, so... Now that Germany is reformed because they are Slavs, which is still kind of weird to me, because they started out, without a doubt, as a pagan country, as a Norse country. But because... Oh, you're an old Slav, you fool. Ah, old Slavs. Now that's a bit of an issue. But I think that Germany may be able to hold... Oh, what? This power... It's just too weird to me. I don't want to speak about this power structure, I'll be honest with you. Okay, Bavaria as a kingdom, I don't think it exists anymore. At some point, Bavaria existed. It existed for a fairly long time, actually. And then it was just destroyed here in 957. Now, I hate Aquitaine. I hate Aquitaine so much. It is ridiculous that this happened. You gotta... Who's educating her? Okay, so it is this random lady. He's called the Holy. Get out of here. It's a load of bullshit. I love that nobody rebels against them, though. Everyone's just like, yeah, we're gonna hate them, but at the same time, I don't care. Let's just hope that they convert back sooner rather than later. Yeah, everybody fucking hates him. It's crazy. What a weird predicament. Italy, in the meantime, has stayed... Is it Catholic? Yeah, they are actually still Catholics. Sicily's blobbing to a degree that I didn't anticipate. And Mongolia, wait, is that the Mongolia? No way, right? Wait, what? Reformed pagan? King Ifyemi, the monster of Mongolia. That can't be right. Show me Mongolia as a title, please. So we had Burnick the Just create this, Boast the Wise, Terma the Cruel. I don't know. Is that it? That's not a de jure title, right? Oh, it actually. Wait, what? Oh, over here? Oh yeah, I see. Okay. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting to see, actually. Why are the Mongols here? I think. Jesus, look at Dojaya. Stop lobbing Dojaya, please. I think that we never saw the Seljuks because there were no Sunni Muslims. Now with the Mongols, I'm not sure how that exactly works, but I mean Ruthenia. At the very least, the Mongols are killing Ruthenia, be it with the actual Genghis Khan or not. It doesn't matter to me. Kill Ruthenia. God bless. Man, can you believe it? We will be playing Holy Fury in just 12 days from when this video goes up. So, what I want to do in Holy Fury, and I'm going to reiterate that in a different video, because I don't assume that most people watch this one in particular, because they're not actually doing anything, right? I'm just talking over a time loop here, and I'm not even editing anything. Hey, look, I will never edit videos for this channel. I hate editing. I'm not smart enough for it. It's too much work, and I would rather not do it, because as soon as I edit, this hobby becomes work. And the thing is, like, I do actual work, and I get paid for it. But I don't get paid for this hobby, you know, so I can't do anything about that. But what I'm telling you is, with Holy Fury, I think I would like to play a really hardcore Crusader playthrough. Like, start in, let's say, maybe 1100 or something, right? In the time where Crusades are already present. And then we just kind of sail over, and I want to see how that mechanic works. And then the second part is maybe start in 867 or something and play the Norse and reform the Norse faith. Because as I understand it, there's huge changes to that as well. I kind of feel like those are going to be my two playthroughs that I'm going to do on the regular. I don't know if I'm going to do both every day or just like one day, then the other day, you know, so that it's, what do you call that? Changing. There's an actual time for that, but I can't remember. Well, that's when you are a foreigner speaking a foreign language, eh? But what it comes down to me, is that this playthrough, as much fun as it is, and honestly, I'm enjoying it to an insane degree. This is Shattered World is fun because you just jump around, you just do random things, and you see the world react to it, right? Long after you're gone, and I think that is a major proponent of the fun that you can have with these games. But I do also agree that it is actually time to abandon the playthrough the day before Holy Fury comes out. Because Holy Fury is going to change the game of Crusader Kings 2 so much that everything that we're seeing here and are admiring, it doesn't matter. What we will see after will be an entirely different game. Look at you, Yuchi Taizu. Take hostile action. I don't even know what that means. I've never done that. Never had to bother with it. How's Yuchi? Are you the first of your house? Yeah. Yuchi Daiju. Interesting. Huh. Did the Protector General like send back the father of this dude and make him emperor? Didn't read the didn't actually read the events, so I wouldn't know, but that's kind of cool. You know, looking at this, not that much is changing here. Slavic is winning out against Old Slavic, but that's to be expected. That always happens. Cathar obviously winning their fight. You know, I've built them up to a degree, I think, where they will just hold on. Defensive pact against the Dojaya, obviously. Oh, that's a pretty small pact. Aquitaine, on the other hand, has quite the defensive pact against them. Oh, we have some. Oh, that's interesting. Cambridge obviously still exists as a trade area, but then we have this one. Athens. Oh, Athens. That is so based. But us. Were they Muslims? Why do they have a Muslim insignia? This makes no sense. Why do they have a Muslim insignia? Really? That's just weird. That's just really weird. I hope you guys are hearing the music, by the way. I think you are, but you never know with this game. It shows up really weird in OBS as well. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. Right. Let's just keep the camera like this. The fascinating thing about Crusader Kings 2 is that I think it's the perfect example of Paradox DLC structure actually working. I hear a lot of complaints, and I entirely get where they're coming from. I think I would agree with them, you know, 3 or 4 years back maybe, but at this point I can't really agree with them. But I hear a lot of complaints that essentially focus on, hey, it's just money grabbing, right? If you end up with a product that in total, with all the cosmetics, and I know the cosmetics are all, you know, not really necessary, but that ends up in total costing like €500, is that still anywhere close to what is acceptable in the normal price range for these products? And I think on average, the answer to that is obviously no, right? However, you gotta see those 500 products, it's like the Settlers of Catan, where over like a decade, they brought out more content and content and content, and it all stacks up. However, the work that was done would have otherwise never been done, and the programmers and the content designers and the QA and all the staff, the project lead, the organizers, the everything wouldn't have been able to be paid without having huge losses if you had done it any other way. You know, Paradox in like 2012 still, the way they did it was you bring out a game and then you release 2 or at max 3 expansions that are as big as our usual DLCs that we get now. And you release those for like $20 each, and then you're done. That's the end of the project cycle. And the issue with that is, you know, when you look at Hearts of Iron 3 and Victoria 2, those games could be so much better had they followed the current project cycle, where you essentially start a project assuming that this project will, after it was released, at least be out for maybe 7 years. It will still be maintained in the project cycle. If you start with that assumption, you can plan projects way differently. Because, you know, obviously everybody has deadlines. When corporate says, hey, you know, we need this game out in December because then we can actually make money with it and it will be profitable. And if it's profitable, we can keep it going. Of course, you have deadlines. And what you would do back in the day, you would just say, all right, I have this great idea that I would love to push through, but I can't do it. Also, France conquered Italy. But I can't do it because, you know, I don't have the time. What you do now is you can just say, hey, you know what, let's just push that idea back. We can do it in the first or the second or the third or the fourth DLC. We will do it at some point, right? And that being the case makes for way better games, and it makes for fairer production circumstances for developers of any sort. Let's just frame all of those people as developers, right? It makes for way healthier environments as well, where you can just say, you know what, we've done well here, but at the same time, we don't... Oh, what is this? Was this Sicily up there always? It just makes for a way healthier situation, you know? I understand that the cost of it looks like it is greed to the consumer. But when you compare numbers, and I'm a numbers guy, I love looking at numbers, and when you compare numbers of Paradox Development Studio, PDS, which is a studio in Stockholm that produces all of the games for Paradox. I think they have like an outlying studio as well, like just in Malmö or something, I'm not sure. And then you have Paradox Interactive, which is essentially the publisher. They have huge amounts of companies that come to them and want to publish games under their name, and that wing, the publisher, rakes in huge profits. I'm telling you straight up, if Paradox today shut down Paradox Development Studio, monetary-wise, they wouldn't lose much when it comes to the net profit of it. Of course, there's net profit there, Stellaris being the game that RUS. This is ridiculous. Oh, you don't see my mouse pointer. Wait, now you should, right? Yeah, look at this stuff. This is and look at Sicily up here. But, you know, they could get rid of it and the net profit wouldn't go down to a considerable degree, mostly because PDS doesn't have that big of a net profit. So the way they do it, this is still profitable, and that is what a company does. They want to be profitable. And I hate the Western Protectorate, by the way. But it is good for the actual development aspect to have, you know, some of the pressure taken away from you. just because you can push out things over longer production cycles. And as a person that has worked in the past years and, you know, kind of has found their way into financing life and so on and so forth, I'm going to tell you, I would take that every day. I would be willing to pay more money for my hobby if it means that people are not living in shitty work environments. I would pay more if it means that they have more time to develop ideas, to kind of play around with it. You can see it in Stellaris. They've changed, and they are changing the entire game. Thoroughly changing it. And the result is a way better game. They would have never been able to do that with the old DLC model, where you just had 3, you know, expansions, and then you're done. And I think at the end of the day, except your wallet, but at the end of the day, everybody wins. We get a better product. We have people working in way better environments. And we guarantee that a very, very niche section, and let's not fool ourselves, grand strategy as an industry is extraordinarily niche. Now, Paradox may be dominating that niche, but even for them, the scale in which profit rises, or the way profits scale over time, the bigger you get, isn't enough to have them say, you know what, we're like filthy rich now. It's not even close to being enough to that. So I feel like if you have criticism for it, I entirely understand, because it's a lot of money we're talking about to keep a hobby like this one going, right? But at the same time, you gotta see it, I think, from a different angle. You don't have to agree with me, obviously, but I feel there is merit to the idea of keeping a fair relationship between the consumer and the corporation, and especially today where you have so many corporations pulling dirty shit. I think it is refreshing and very, very positive to see Paradox do the opposite, where they, you know, deliver better things in return for better payment. And I think that is fair if you don't overdo it. I don't think they have been overdoing it at all. You don't have to buy any of the cosmetics, you know. You don't have to buy anything really that you don't want. There are some so game-changing stuff, but I like the way they do it, where you put out a free update that everybody gets with a lot of the really game-changing stuff, and then the costing update that is essentially, you know, merits on top. Sometimes you need it. For example, what was that other CK2 thing? But even regardless of that, I mean, you don't really need it if you play multiplayer, for example. I love the approach where if the host has everything, then everybody gets it. That is an amazing approach that I can only applaud, really. But let's have a look here. In the last, I think about like 30 years we're at now. In the last 30 years, Sicily has blobbed deep into Greece. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think if we were to see a Germanic fucking Byzantine Empire, that would be incredible. They have very splintered land up here, though. Armenia, Jesus, Armenia is bigger than I anticipated, really. It's really interesting to see that there's nobody in the core of this. You know, this is usually the core of an empire. Not necessarily the Byzantine Empire, but somebody kind of rises up in this. But in this case, you have like this stuff, and then you have this stuff, with this being fairly irrelevant. Just such a rich region over here. It's pretty incredible. I love that Leon appears to be... What? What? He's a Sunni Muslim. Wait a second. What is this? No, okay. No, you have a... How did he do it? How the fuck did he do it? Oh my god. Aquitaine. You're a Shia Muslim. What the fuck? And he has converted a few people to Sunni Muslim. Oh, Sunni Islam. Oh my god. This dude. King Bernard Atten of Aquitaine. This motherfucker. He has actually converted people. Wow. England is in the meantime being eaten by Canberra. Wow. Wow. Are we going to see a resurgence of Sunni Islam? Oh, that, that is so ridiculous. They are West Africans. Yeah, I can see that here. Oh, wow. That is ridiculous. Yeah, he converted quite a few, actually, to Sunni Islam. Oh, she is a... Oh, she's a secret Orthodox. She actually does hold on to her beliefs. And Leon is now just Shia Muslim as well. Oh, that is absolutely ridiculous. Egypt has been pretty worn down. Damiette is definitely the force to be reckoned with there. Greece still exists, weirdly enough. This is Trebizond, I believe. Yeah, that's Trebizond. Oh, Ruthenia is still being punched in the gut. And he's Polish. The king is Polish. Very realistic. The Poles are the secret rulers of Russia. It is true. He has embraced reformed. Germany doesn't. Wait, no, that's not Germany. Good Germany. Yeah, he's still old Slavic. I don't know about that. Very not so great choice. I am Sicily in the meantime. Jesus, blobbing everywhere. Maybe, like, you know, we should try to reform the... Let me actually check that here for a second. Your holy sites, where... Yeah, no, okay. So we have you already under control. Norway, I think. We have you under Slavic control, I think. Where else is that stuff? Can't even properly see it. I would have to enter command Zeeland, I know. Then you probably are also holy. Jesus, if only I could tell. And I'm going to take a look at that. Maybe we're going to reform the northern faith. That may be quite interesting. I like that this is actually going on. I noticed this earlier, and I mentioned it as well, I think, where this dude, literally, it's so ridiculous. It's so... Look at this cash. It's so stupid. It is so fucking stupid. The Order of the Saint something, Saint Anthony. He must have been a holy order for the Monophysite faith, Monophysia, whatever, okay, of that faith. I think he was one, a proponent of that anyway. And turns out he must have rebelled against his owner. And now he's just Ethiopia. He's a large Ethiopia. I love when stuff like that happens. It's just, you mostly see it with Venice, because they could just rebel on the Venetian island and then just siege it down and win the war. You see it there mostly, but seeing it down here in Ethiopia is just great. That is a good joke. I love Aquitaine. That is ridiculous. Oh my god, he started out so young as well. That is the best part about it. He started out so young. That means he has so much more time. Jesus, look at Dojaya. He has so much more time to reform his empire. I wonder if Dojaya at this point could found the Hindustan. Or maybe he needs to be Hindu. I mean, that obviously makes a lot of sense, but Hindu is also just a word for, you know, the Indian people, so... Denmark? Excuse me? How do the pagans do it? How does Sicily do it? Honestly, stop reforming things. Maybe just playing pagan Sicily would be great fun. Could plunder, we could, you know, prepare invasions. Maybe crash into the Holy Land or something. Ruthenia, ever since we left, just, you know, has kept on losing and losing. They're just on the defense at all times, and I don't think the AI can handle it. Honestly, I don't know. We're not as close to like 1100 than I would have wished we would be, but maybe playing Sicily is something nice. Let me know. Let me also know if I should just fast forward, maybe off camera, maybe on camera, to get to like 1100 or something, you know, to get a bit deeper. Maybe get an invasion or two. I don't know, there's generally speaking though, I think some interesting stuff on this map. Aquitaine turning on orthodoxy, not just for Germanic paganism, but also for Islam. Now that is a story. And he's a fucking pagan again. Get out of here. How does this stuff happen? Dude, you need some kids. Look, where's your kids? You got a daughter. That's not that. Oh, of course. Of course that doesn't work. I'm so sorry. This is just absolutely ridiculous. This is like comedy art. This is the stuff you see on oh, Bohemia? What? What? Excuse me? Oh, you hold 4 kingdoms? Sweden, Bohemia, Lithuania, and Poland? Are you insane? Couldn't he found the Wendish Empire at some point? Speaking of empire, oh, that's I don't like that. I really hate that actually. It's terrible. Yeah, I hate that. But all of this will soon flip. Yeah, Aquitaine is just going to be a huge kingdom, de jure speaking. I'm a bit disappointed though. You know, we should see some stuff like the Wendish Empire or maybe Germania. Carpathia is usually one of the ones that you see, but we only had Croatia really large over here. But Carpathia, you know, like this, is actually really simple to form, I think. Oh, Bulgaria exists. Sweet. Marahani Ananted. I can't pronounce that name. Queen Kyria of Bulgaria. Why do they have the rebel colors? I love Sicily. This is such a... I can't believe that they've held on to all of this land all this time, and they've just kept expanding, you know. You have Armenia sitting in the east as the threat, trying to push them down. And then Greece is just sitting here like, oh, please don't kill me. Great. Some great stuff that is going on here. But I would suggest, let me know who I should jump in as. We've seen a lot of people here. I'm even going to write it as a comment because I assume that not many people are going to watch all of this video. There's no gameplay. I understand that. But let me know in the comments what exactly you would like me to do. And then we can go ahead and, you know, take a look at that. It's only like 11 more days from here on out. So what can you do? I will see you in the next episode. Later, alligator.